Welcome back to WION World is One. You're watching Speed News with me, Vidur Kathuria. Let's get started. Air India flight AI 186 operating from Vancouver on December 23rd was delayed after the cockpit crew member was offloaded just before departure following safety concerns raised by Canadian authorities. An alternate pilot was deployed in line with safety protocols. Air India has said the pilot has been taken off flying duties pending an inquiry and that the airline is fully cooperating with local authorities. Swiss President Guy Parmelin called the ski resort fire that killed about 40 one of the worst tragedies Switzerland has ever known. A fire ripped through a crowded bar, killing around 40 and injuring 115 others at a Swiss ski resort of Crans-Montana. 13 of the wounded were Italian citizens and another 6 Italians are unaccounted for. The police said it is too early to determine the cause of the fire. Experts have not yet been able to go inside the wreckage. A senior Russian military chief handed to a US military official what he said was part of a Ukrainian drone containing data he said proved that the Ukrainian military this week had targeted a Russian presidential residence. Moscow accused Kyiv on Monday of trying to strike a residence of President Vladimir Putin in Russia's northern Novgorod region with 91 long-range attack drones. It said Russia would review its negotiating position in ongoing talks with the US on ending the Ukraine war. Russia has accused Ukraine of carrying out a drone strike on a hotel in the southern Kherson region, killing at least 24 people celebrating the new year. The attack has sparked renewed tensions between the two nations. According to Vladimir Saldo, the Russia-appointed governor of the Kherson region, 3 drones struck a cafe and hotel on the Black Sea's coast in Korli, where more than 100 revelers were celebrating the new year. Calling the strike deliberate, Vladimir Saldo said that many had been burnt alive in the fire. Russia's investigative committee has said that it has opened a probe into the attack. Iranian authorities in Tehran have arrested 30 suspects accused of public order offences. Widening demonstrations sparked by Iran's ailing economy spread into the country's rural provinces on Thursday. At least 7 people being killed in the first fatalities reported among security forces and protesters. The deaths may mark the start of a heavier-handed response by Iran's theocracy over the demonstrations, which have slowed in the capital Tehran but expanded elsewhere. The fatalities, 2 on Wednesday and 5 on Thursday, occurred in 4 cities, largely home to Iran's lunar ethnic group. Iran held a large rally in Tehran to mark 6 years since the killing of top military commander Qasem Soleimani, with President Masoud Pezeshkian in attendance. Soleimani was assassinated in a US missile strike in Iraq in January 2020. Soleimani was a central figure in expanding Iran's influence across West Asia through allied militias and groups, becoming a powerful symbol inside Iran and among anti-US factions in the region. Flights at Yemen's Aden International Airport were halted on Thursday, the latest signs of deepening crisis between Saudi Arabia and the UAE, whose rivalry is reshaping war-torn Yemen. While Saudi Arabia has denied involvement in flight restrictions, passengers face uncertainty amid Aden airport shutdown. Syria said a suicide bomber who killed a security forces member in Aleppo on New Year's Eve was in the Islamic State group, which planned attacks on churches and gatherings. The Islamic State group recently increased its attacks in areas of Syria controlled by the Damascus authorities and was blamed for an attack last month in Palmyra that killed 3 Americans. One Syrian police officer was killed and others wounded in a suicide bombing late Wednesday in the northern city of Aleppo. A patrol by the internal security forces was attempting to detain the bomber in the Bab al-Faraj when he detonated himself, state news agency Sana reported. A commission appointed by Nepal's interim government will summon ousted Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli on Friday. This to be probed alleged excessive use of force during the September 8th and night Gen Z movement. At least 19 youths who were demonstrating against the Oli government in Kathmandu were killed in police firing on September 8th, with the total death toll from the 2 days of unrest reaching 77 people nationwide. Human Rights Watch and other bodies have alleged that security forces used disproportionate and unlawful force, including firing live ammunition indiscriminately at protesters. The agitation had led to the ouster of Oli's coalition government. An explosion in Balochistan's Sibi district left 1 person dead and 5 others injured. The incident was a grenade attack that took place at around 7:05 p.m. local time. Police said security has been in the area and further investigation is underway. The US State Department said Chinese war games around Taiwan unnecessarily spiked tensions in the region, calling on Beijing to cease its military pressure. The US State Department statement urged China to exercise restraint, cease its military pressure against Taiwan, and engage in meaningful dialogue. Beijing launched missiles and deployed dozens of fighter jets, navy ships, and coast guard vessels this week to encircle Taiwan's main island, in exercises condemned by Taipei as highly provocative. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said he was open to cooperation with the United States on drug trafficking, oil, and other issues after weeks of growing US military pressure. However, Maduro declined to comment on a US military attack on a Venezuelan dock, as announced this week by President Donald Trump. Russia has reportedly asked the US to stop its pursuit of an oil tanker that was heading to Venezuela and is now fleeing the US Coast Guard in the Atlantic Ocean. The New York Times report cited 2 people with the knowledge of the matter. The US forces have been pursuing the tanker, which maritime groups have identified as the Bella 1, for almost 2 weeks. New York City's Mayor Zohran Mamdani announced 3 executive orders aimed at improving housing affordability and tenant protections. New York's first Muslim mayor vowed to pursue an aggressive agenda aimed at making the largest city of the US more affordable for working people, emphasizing universal childcare, affordable rents, and free bus services. Mamdani was officially sworn in at midnight by New York Attorney General Letitia James at the Old City Hall subway station in a private ceremony on Sunday. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro was discharged from hospital and taken to prison on Thursday after undergoing medical procedures. Bolsonaro was found guilty by the Supreme Federal Court on September 11th and sentenced to 27 years and 3 months in prison. Assam Rifles, along with Manipur Police, conducted successful joint operations in Kakching and Imphal East districts of Manipur on 31st December. During the operation, the joint security forces recovered a huge cache of arms and ammunition. Among the items recovered are 1 M16 rifle, 1 SLR, 4 bolt-action rifles, 1 pistol, 1 improvised explosive device, 1 drone, 5 grenades, wireless communication sets, and 85 rounds of ammunition. In another search operation, 2 bolt-action rifles, pistol, grenades, and 125 rounds of ammunition were recovered. The Romeo Force of the Indian Army busted a terrorist hideout in the Garang forest of Loran, located at a high altitude in the Pooch district. According to sources, the security forces found IED-like objects along with logistical materials at the hideout. The Indian Army has been intensifying its operations in the area, particularly during peak winter, to crack down on terrorists hiding in the forests. In a significant revelation, the special investigation team probing the alleged Sabrimala gold theft scandal has reported to the court that gold is missing from more temple artifacts. In a report submitted at the Vigilance Court in Kollam, the agency has stated that the scandal is not limited to 2 artifacts. It said that gold is missing from 7 copper plates at the Prabha Mandalam of the temple, which covers the idols. In Madhya Pradesh, a lab test has confirmed that a diarrhea outbreak, which has killed at least 4 patients and affected over 1,400 people in Indore, was caused by contaminated drinking water. The test findings substantiated that a life-threatening drinking water supply system prevails in parts of Madhya Pradesh's commercial capital, which has been ranked India's cleanest city for the last 8 years. Officials have said that a leakage was found in the main drinking water supply pipeline near a police outpost in Bhagirathpura at a spot over which a toilet has been constructed. In Senegal, residents and visitors celebrated the New Year with traditional dances, music and fireworks for the festival in the village of Abene. Founded in 1994, the Abene Festival is one of the oldest cultural festivals in Senegal, with celebrations taking place from December 26th to January 2nd. In Jammu and Kashmir, heavy snowfall in the Pir Panjal ranges of Poonch continues. The tough weather conditions have led to challenging road conditions and transportation disruptions. The Weather Department has forecast likely cold wave conditions at isolated places in Delhi between January 2nd and 5th as chilly weather in the national capital continues. Apart from New Delhi, the cold wave prediction has also been issued for Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana till January 5th. A cold wave is declared when the minimum temperature drops to 4.5 to 6.5 degrees Celsius below the normal average temperature. Landmarks in Syracuse, located in central New York State, were blanketed in white after a storm dumped heavy lake-effect snow on Thursday. According to the National Weather Service, such snowfall is typical for parts of New York State in the winter when the unfrozen waters of the Great Lakes mix with icy air in the upper atmosphere, forming clouds that rapidly produce snow. The season's first heavy rains and snowfall ended a prolonged dry spell but triggered flash floods in several areas of Afghanistan, killing at least 17 people and injuring 11 others. The severe weather also disrupted daily life across central, northern, southern and western regions. The spokesperson for Afghanistan National Disaster Management Authority said the floods also damaged infrastructure in the affected districts, killed livestock and affected 1,800 families, worsening conditions in already vulnerable urban and rural communities. A storm drenched Southern California on January 1st, triggering flood warnings for millions and leaving more than 3,000 Los Angeles people without power. Aerial footage that surfaced showed the damage left behind torrential rainfall that sparked mudslides and flooding. An avalanche near a mountain resort in the Spanish Pyrenees has killed one person. This comes days after another avalanche in the area killed 3 skiers. The body of the man was found in the Bielsa Valley in the northeastern Aragon region. Residents in Boston braved frigid temperatures to take part in the L Street Brownies annual New Year's Day polar plunge into Boston Harbor. Dozens in costumes and swimsuits dive into the freezing cold water, continuing a tradition that dates back more than 100 years. World stocks kicked off the new year on a solid note after a blockbuster year. Tech shares led the gains in Asia after a soft finish to 2025. Wall Street futures pointed to a green open, signaling an end to a 4-day losing run, but with traders trickling back to their desks. The early moves on Friday may not really indicate a broader sentiment trend yet. Liquidity also remains low as Chinese and Japanese markets are shut. Despite the post-Christmas pullback, global stocks marked their strongest annual performance since 2019. The real question remains if stocks will have another roller coaster year as the risks from 2025 extend into the new year. AI remains one of the key themes for the markets. Wall Street is now well aware of the risks surrounding the AI boom. Still, only a handful advocate walking away from what they describe as a revolutionary technology. The biggest hit was to the dollar, which fell nearly 10%, marking the worst year for the world's reserve currency. Oil prices opened 2026 on a firm note after ending last year with their steepest annual losses since 2020. Brent crude edges up to just under $61 a barrel. The modest rebound comes as geopolitical risks return to focus. Ukrainian drones targeted Russian oil facilities on New Year's Day as Kyiv steps up attacks on energy infrastructure to squeeze Moscow's war finances. At the same time, Washington has tightened pressure on Venezuela. The Trump administration imposed fresh sanctions on companies and oil tankers linked to Venezuela's energy sector. Still, markets remain weighed down by supply concerns. Oil fell nearly 20% in 2025, marking Brent's third straight annual decline. South Korea's factory sector returned to growth in December, snapping 2 months of contraction as export demand picked up pace. A private survey by S&P Global showed the manufacturing PMI rising to 50.1, crossing the expansion threshold for the first time since October. The rebound was led by stronger external demand. Export orders improved while overall new orders rose for the first time in 3 months, marking their strongest gain since November 2024. While factory output remained in contraction for the third straight month, the pace of decline eased noticeably. Inflation pressures, however, are building. Input costs jumped to the highest level since mid-2022 due to currency weakness, pushing output prices to a 9-month high. Humanoid robots have taken center stage at China Media Group's New Year Gala, blending advanced technology with live entertainment during a performance titled New Bot in Shanghai. Humanoid robots joined singers and dancers, showcasing moves including backflips, drum playing, and synchronized choreography. On the gala's main stage in Shanxi province, robots performed as part of a live band playing musical instruments such as guitars, keyboards, and drums. Another humanoid robot also appeared in a magic act, assisting the magician by handing over props and interacting with the performance. NASA is set to make a historic return to deep space in 2026, with the Artemis program marking the first crewed lunar mission since the Apollo era. The Artemis 2 mission will send 4 astronauts on a lunar flyby, testing NASA's Space Launch System rocket and Orion spacecraft with crew for the first time. NASA says the mission is targeted for no later than April 2026, with the possibility of an earlier launch as preparations progress. The crew includes 3 NASA astronauts and 1 Canadian astronaut, making it the first time a Canadian will travel to the moon. Artemis 2 will take the crew around 5,000 miles beyond the far side of the moon before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean, without landing or entering lunar orbit. Elon Musk-owned xAI has launched 2 new subscription tiers, Grok Business and Grok Enterprise, targeting workplace use of its AI models. The company says the new plans offer access to its most advanced Grok AI models with higher rate limits through a single platform. Grok Business is aimed at small and medium-sized teams, while Grok Enterprise is designed for large organizations with features like custom single sign-on, directory sync, and advanced security controls. The move marks xAI's latest push to compete with Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic in the growing market for workplace AI tools. China's AI startup DeepSeek has published a new research paper detailing a more efficient way to build advanced AI models despite restrictions on access to NVIDIA chips. The paper, co-authored by founder Liang Wenfeng, introduces a framework called Manifold Constrained Hyperconnections aimed at improving scalability while reducing computing and energy costs. DeepSeek says the method addressing key challenges such as training instability and limited scalability in large AI systems. According to a Morgan Stanley analysis reported by the Financial Times, more than 200,000 banking jobs in Europe could be lost by 2030 as lenders increasingly turn to AI and close physical branches. The cuts would amount to around 10% of the workforce across 35 major European banks, with back-office risk management and compliance roles hit the hardest. Morgan Stanley says banks are targeting efficiency gains of up to 30% by automating operations. That's it on this edition of Speed News. News and updates will continue on the other side of this short break. Keep watching WION The World is One.